The evolution of your marketing will be the catalyst for the evolution of your business, and the evolution of your business will provide you with the freedom to focus on the evolution of your life. This is Evolved Marketing with Andrei and Brian. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Evolved Marketing Podcast. My name is Brian Brewer, and I'm along with my co-host, as always, Andrei Yermejev. And today we are going to bring you an episode about creating content. The reason we decided to discuss this today is because we posed the question to some of our followers, some of the people on our email list, and some of our groups, what should we talk about? And the question that came up was, do the generic side hustle videos still work for getting traffic and views on short form content? And that's what we're going to dive into. We're going to dive into content. So first of all, how are you doing today, Andrei?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks. I don't know when this episode is going to come out, but I know you just celebrated a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday once again. How was your celebration?
Thank you. Yeah, things were good. Actually, on the weekend, we had like a little get together at my house. So a lot of my friends came and we it was a party, So we had a party. And then yesterday was my actual birthday, like the actual date. So we just went for lunch. We had Peruvian food. So it was amazing, like always. And I play soccer on Tuesdays, so I was not gonna miss my soccer night just because it was my birthday. So we all decided to go over there. Yeah, my wife, my daughter watched me play soccer. We stayed there a little bit. They have a bar out there, so we're just chilling. But yeah, today's episode is about creating content,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we'll probably focus mostly on short form content. We have some interesting things to discuss a little bit later in the show here today about YouTube specifically, because there are some new changes that will already be in effect by the time this episode comes out. I think they're important, and I'll tell everyone how I'm using this new change to grow my channel and obviously monetize my brand, generate leads, and all that stuff. But let's get to the question that was asked by one of the members in our audience here today first, and that is, do random side hustle videos still work for marketing? And the idea here is this comes from someone who is most likely promoting something in the wealth niche, right? So obviously they want to attract an audience of people who are interested in making money online. Now, one tactic that has been used pretty successfully over the last couple of years, especially on TikTok and probably Instagram Reels as well, is people will make random side hustle videos, something that is probably unrelated to the final product that they're promoting. For example, a random side hustle video might be something like how to make $500 a month publishing children's books to Amazon. I know that was a big one a couple of years ago that people really bought into. The idea here is those obscure side hustles will get a lot of attention from people because they probably seem easy. They probably seem low maintenance. You don't have to have a lot of high income skills to write a children's book, presumably, although I would argue that you probably do have to have some writing experience. But that will attract a lot of views. You're going to attract a lot of views from a lot of people who want to make extra money online. And then once you have them in your views and you're in their algorithm, so to speak, then you can turn around and market your actual product, which might be a course or software that helps people make money online. So that's the whole idea. The question is, does that still work? So, Andrei, have you used this tactic in the past? Do you think it still works? Do you know it doesn't? Do you know it does? What are your thoughts on this subject?
I think it's more like a personal question or like a more like an individual person. So people that start creating those type of contents need to realize or ask themselves, what are they're trying to accomplish, right? Because if you have an account that is not getting engagement, maybe your goal is to get engagement, and maybe that will get your account to get a bunch of reach, right? So if you want to get reach, those side hustle videos, I think they always work just to get reach, to get an account, get started. But then the problem that comes with those side hustle videos, and then the problem is when you are promoting something that is not related to that side hustle video. So you might get a lot of backlash from commenting from the people that are looking at your videos. Something that is really popular right now is naming brand companies, like big companies, and letting them know that they're hiring you to pay you, and they pay you $30 the hour. Let's just say that's an example. For example, Microsoft. There's a post around going on around that says Microsoft will pay you $32 an hour to work from home, but at the same time, you're gonna get a lot of people interested in the Microsoft job. Like how now you gotta start thinking, how are you gonna turn those people interested on that video that they just watched and that they just engaged in your video? How can you flip that into what you're trying to promote? It could be affiliate marketing, it could be master resale rights, it could be drop shipping. Um, that's why you have to ask yourself, what are you trying to accomplish in the beginning? If you're doing it for just the engagement, I think you should do it. But then that's when you have to literally like see like, okay, well, what am I gonna do next? Because it's
Yeah,
hard to sell something to somebody that is so focused on the video that they just watched. And then from there, how are they gonna reply to you? How are you gonna reply to that person? that's
right.
that's things that you have to start thinking about.
Because you're going to have to come around, and as soon as they reply to you, if you're responding to your DMs, you're going to have to come around and immediately talk them out of the thing you just promoted and talk them into your thing if you want to actually generate leads and eventually make sales commissions or money. But it's interesting what you said. It's not a tactic that I've used. I know it works. I know it works very successfully. And when you look at it on paper, it makes sense, right? Build an audience and then market the heck out of your product to them. But what you did say that was interesting is using that brand name recognition works. And that's something that I've used in the past. For example, one video that I've made multiple times, or I guess I should say I haven't made the video multiple times, but I've used the same hook multiple times in different videos, is how to make money on Amazon without selling on Amazon. And that hook right there performs extremely well. And I think it's because it does two things, or it has two features that work. First of all, the big brand name recognition, right? Everybody knows what Amazon is. So there's definitely something to that. When you can talk about something that people know and they're familiar with, it's going to be more likely that you draw them in. The other reason that hook does very well is because there's a lot of curiosity in it, and it's a little bit weird. How do you make money on Amazon without selling on Amazon? That doesn't make any sense, right? But the payoff of that video, because you always got to pay off your hook, is, well, you can become an affiliate for Amazon, right? And I talk about affiliate marketing for Amazon, but what I prefer to do instead is promote digital products from one-off creators, because they have, higher margins and better support and bigger commission rates and all that stuff. So that's a tactic that I have used. So there's something definitely to it, but it's interesting when you're talking about your goals, right? If your goal is to get engagement, get reach, then you think it works. It's been proven to work, and you probably something that you should do. But I saw a video on YouTube. It was either yesterday or 2 days ago, and the title of the video was something like, a 20-year-old makes $11 million in 18 months or something like that. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good hook. So I started watching that video, and it's about this guy who created this company, and I don't know the specifics of it, but basically maybe you've seen it before. It's like chocolate that you can buy that comes, and it's the idea here is that there's some sort of aphrodisiac in it, or some sort of herbs that spice up your love life. Okay. And that product has done very well. I've seen it on TikTok as well. But what he said is the best strategy for TikTok is to find videos that are going viral that are somewhat related to your niche or your product, and then essentially remake them. And in this case, it would be the random side hustle videos. What you're going to do is you're going to get a lot of reach. But what he said that was really interesting, which is why I wanted to bring it up, is a majority of his sales, or I guess I should say very few sales, actually come from the viral video. It kind of, juices up the algorithm, but it doesn't really make any sales. So what he does is he will find a viral video he can kind of loosely tie to his niche or product or whatever, make it, get a whole bunch of views, and then the next 5 videos he makes are really focused marketing videos, just really marketing the hell out of his product. So people will be drawn in by that viral video, and then they'll see the next few videos because that's the way the algorithm works, and he'll just market the heck out of his product. And then when he starts to lose steam, he'll turn around, make another viral video, and then follow it up with 5, 6, 7 more videos, just marketing the heck out of his product. And to me, it's like, that's a pretty good idea. And that's kind of the same thing, don't you think?
Well, that's crazy how you say that right now, because I've been doing the same thing with my Spanish thing. I've hired like a company to edit all my videos so they make everything look high ticket or Hormozy style videos. And I did that for, I say, a whole month, right? So a whole month I posted two of those videos every single day, and they were literally marketing videos, just teaching. It was it was talking videos, and I did it for a whole month. So I was posting two a day, so that's 60 videos already that I have already saved in my database. So now what I'm doing is I'm just creating regular TikTok videos just to get that engagement, that excitement. And then after that, I'm gonna be posting one of those older videos that I made of me talking with a clear call to action, and just to have people get to know me better. Because now I'm creating these TikToks, which I don't talk. I never talk on my TikTok videos, but then I'm also putting out there my talking videos, you get me, which are edited professionally, so they look cool. So it's just a new strategy that I'm working on right now. We'll see how well it does. But the engagement, for sure, the engagement has gone up a lot just by making that switch. And that's what that everybody should do. You should have like a good ratio of what type of content you should be posting. Something that I used to teach to my students a couple years ago was what type of content you should be posting. One of them is educational content. The other one is entertainment content. The other one is about you content. And then the last content strategy is should be selling, right? So, or marketing type of content where you have a clear call to action and you want people to take action. That's what you want to do. So those are the four main things that I taught my students back in the day, and it worked. There's a lot of content out there that people don't use the pain, the pain that people actually feel just living their own life. So those pain points are really smart to touch on, because if you're going through something, most likely somebody else is going through the same thing, and they probably need that some type of escape, right?
Absolutely.
So
When
I
you're talking
think
about
those
pain
those
point videos, what do you try to toss pain points into any video that is relevant, or do you try to make that in your about you videos, or does it fall into one of those four categories: education, entertainment, about you, or selling?
selling and about you, because you can sell so easily by just sharing your story. You get me? So those two go well together. Same as education and entertainment. If you're able to combine those two, you're golden. Like, you'll be able to get viral videos and you're gonna stand out. That's the main thing. You have to find a way to stand out. But yeah, just how I said, pain points. Remember when I did the mastermind with Legendary and I did my whole presentation, I was just talking about all the pain points that I went through. The first half of my presentation was just pain point, pain point, pain point, pain point, pain point. And then at the end I started teaching and everybody was already like engaged. Everybody was focused on what I had to say, just because they're like, oh wow, this guy has gone through a lot, you know?
Yeah, it's powerful. I remember standing up in the back of the room and said, "What can I buy from you, Andre?" After that mastermind presentation, it was amazing. And I think the takeaway here is you have to be strategic with your content, right? And maybe that's why some people struggle, is they do two things. They study content, meaning they watch other videos, they see what's working, and then they get advice on how to create content from a course or other creators who are educating on the platform that they're desiring reach on. And then they just go out there and just start throwing spaghetti against the wall type of thing to see what sticks. And the content experts like yourself, I mean, you're talking about different categories and hitting check boxes that you need to tick off in order to make sure your content is doing its job, right? It's almost like you're creating a content campaign versus individual videos.
Yeah, that's funny how you say campaign, because it's almost like email marketing, right? Like, there's times where you are happy about sending an email and you show the way you're writing it, but there's times that you could be a dick, you could be an asshole. I'm not saying that you are, but there's people that they can be straight to the point, and then have people feel something right away. You get me? So you have to have some type of a routine or campaign, just how you said it.
Yeah, and you got to
Um,
take people on a journey as well, I think. And if you can do that through your content, it's powerful because it's at scale. Like if we're talking about email marketing, I might create let's say I create a 15 email automated sequence. It's the first initial onboarding sequence or nurture sequence, I guess I should say, when I generate a lead. And I might realize that email number 8 is just killing it. Like the amount of sales it's generating is absolutely crushing it. It's outperforming the other emails. But I can't sit here and take email number 8 and put it in email number 1 thinking I want to hit as many people as possible with this email, because you got to consider the journey you're taking them on in the email. What emails led up to it
Yeah.
to kind of warm them up, so you got to the point where on email number 8 you hit a home run and they're like, all right, I've been listening to this for 8 days now, I got to go buy this thing. So, and that's the same way I think you got to create your content. Don't just do all viral videos. Be specific with your intentions. Do a viral video, marketing videos, about you videos, education, then come back. And it's kind of like a steak and candy approach is what I like to call it, right? Give them those sweet little viral videos that kind of whet their appetite, and then come back around and give them the meat that's gonna transition into sales.
Yeah, and if you're focused about making those marketing videos, I suggest everybody makes an about you video. Like, share your story and pin it to the top of your feed. You get me? That way, people get to know that, okay, I'm not just trying to sell, or people want to see that you're an actual person. Somebody that has gone through the struggle and now they're not in the struggle anymore. Maybe they're still in the struggle, but they're trying to get to the next level. So it's important to be sincere with your audience through your content. That's really important. Another thing that you know one question that I ask myself is, what type of content should I post today? Okay. And the answer to that question is, I look at my analytics, especially on Instagram. Let's just focus on Instagram right now. Instagram has 3 analytics. One is how many followers you're gonna get. The other one is engagement, and the other one is account reach. So those 3 are over there. And then if you're doing good in your account, the percentage of those 3 things of your analytics are gonna be in green, right? So now let's say one day your engagement is not green. Well, what kind of content should I be posting? Then you should be creating those viral ones. But then you also have to be playing with your call to action, right? So if you are not getting enough engagement, what should your call to action be? Link in my bio? No, it shouldn't be that. The call to action should be, hey, leave a comment so I can reach out to you, or like this video so I can reach out to you. And then all of this is gonna act is you're just gonna make that engagement go up and becoming the green again. You get me? So that's why you want to play with your analytics. I know there's a lot of people that probably never look at their analytics, but I think sometimes they are hard to get to know like what exactly everything means. But at least for Instagram, they make it so simple, at least for me, followers, engagement, and reach. If you are
And
missing
so the
reach, like if you're
and so the
missing reach,
idea is that
what can you do?
you're gonna look at your analytics and then decide that I'm gonna work on my weakness with the next. Is that kind of the idea?
Exactly. 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 So if let's say you're down on reach, well, start thinking about how many things have you posted in the last week. Maybe you posted 5 videos less than the previous week. That's why your reach went up. So now you might be thinking, okay, maybe I need to post a little more. And then simple as that, you can just you can just basically know what your account provides, what your account is producing, right? If an account is not producing, you have to be able to adjust. If you don't adjust, then you'll never get those new followers, those new people interested. You're never gonna reach new people.
And I think the idea would be is Instagram's going to look at the overall health of your account to see what kind of play your content is going to get, so to speak. So, for example, if you have a ton of account reach because you're creating all these videos that are getting a lot of views, but no one's following you, that would be a negative signal, thinking, hey, the
Yep.
overall account health doesn't match up. It doesn't jive. They're getting millions of views, but they only have 100 followers. This is probably
Mhm.
not a quality account. That kind of the idea.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And it's more like a personal, how do you say it? More like a personal, like you're getting to know your own account. Because
Mhm.
Instagram is not gonna let you know, hey, why are you not getting followers? It's just you, it's just your own data. So you have to reflect on your own account.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Are you still seeing the Well, I guess what I should say is when you're looking at Instagram analytics, do you see it fluctuate depending on the type of content you create? Like, can you see this happen in real time, or is it more of like, I just need to take an account of my account, so to speak, and see how I'm performing?
Yeah,
Like,
you are able to see your analytics when you post a video in each video, right? So each
mhm.
video you'll be able to see. But when you look at your the analytics on your account, I believe it takes maybe 1 to 2 days for it to
Okay,
load up.
yeah.
But
So
on
it's
the video though, you're able to click analytics, and then you'll be able to see, okay, how many of your followers saw the video and how many of non-followers saw the video. So it's a really cool tool that you could be using just to see if you're reaching new people. Because I
right.
also had accounts that I wasn't reaching new people. It was just recycling to my followers, and none of them were taking action. So I was like, okay, this account is not doing well. I mean, I tried different strategies. I tried using trending sounds from Instagram and nothing. I would not get new followers or people that weren't follow me that watch my videos. So you have to just play around with the content, the strategy. The strategy always needs to be evolving.
Right. So you dive deep into your analytics with Instagram. How does that strategy or mindset translate to TikTok? Are you using the same analytics? Are they available, or do you just kind of follow the same patterns that you're posting on Instagram? How do you go about that?
Um, as far as analytics on TikTok, I hardly ever look at them just because TikTok is not the platform where I focus most of my energy. TikTok is just a platform to create the videos and find viral videos that are going around, modeling videos, like for example, side hustle videos. You can also model those videos for your own online business. But no, as far as TikTok, I don't look at the analytics much just because I'm out of that platform as soon as I post.
Right.
I might reply to some comments and that's it, but then I'm out of there. So it doesn't really, it's not like, yeah, it's not as important, I guess, to me.
Right. And I think that's a pretty good lesson. Is it really doesn't take you much time to go out there and repurpose or post on TikTok or make a short 15-second TikTok where it's no talking and just text. It doesn't take long. So why not do it? But the other side of that is you really only need one platform to focus, 95 or 98% of your energy on to make, significant money. I think back to what are we at now? 7 years of creating content. For 2 years, all I did was YouTube, and it
Hmm.
sustained a fantastic business. Then in 2020, well, I guess I should skip over this because this is traffic as well. Then in like late 2018 and 2019, I just focused on email, right? Because I had already built a list from YouTube. So that was where 95% of my energy went, is creating new products and selling stuff to my email. And then once that started to dwindle and get tired, then for another year and a half, I focused all of my attention on TikTok. And yeah, I still posted on other platforms, but a majority of my energy was going to TikTok. And then it was Facebook, you know what I mean? And it's just, you don't have to try to give every platform 100%, because you'll burn yourself out, and there's just not,
Yeah.
400 or 500% of your energy is available every day. It's just not the way it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when new platforms come out, right? Or new features for new platforms. Like when Instagram came out, well, no, Instagram was already came out a long time ago. But when Facebook Reels came out, I was excited about it. I started posting everything was cool. When Pinterest came out, they became with their idea pins, and there were a lot of people making sales with the idea pins. And me thinking it was gonna be a great platform, I went on Pinterest and I added another step to my routine. You get me? And did it work? Hell no. Pinterest was the worst platform I ever used. You get me? Like I was never used to it, but it was just, yeah, it was taking an extra 10 minutes of my life just to post the same video there, or less, 5 minutes. But regardless, that extra step, it was just like pointless to me. It made me burn out in a way.
Yeah, it was taking a lot of your
Yeah.
energy. But anyway, speaking of new features on platforms, I know that we're recording this on the 30th of August, and it'll come out after the 31st. Well, on the 31st, YouTube is making a change to their shorts feature. And the change is going to affect probably a lot of people, myself included, where links in the comments on shorts, YouTube shorts specifically, are going to no longer be clickable. And this is an effort on YouTube's part, I guess, to combat some of the spam that's going on, right? Because you can still get pretty good reach on shorts. It's more of a consumable platform as opposed to a search platform like long form YouTube. So people are just, creating videos and spamming the heck out of it with some sort of link. So they are going to make the links unclickable starting the 31st of August. Going to have to be some changes made. Do you do a lot of YouTube shorts? And if so, do you have links in your comments, Andrei?
Yeah, I do. Only for my Spanish one. I do post shorts, and I do post the link on my comments,
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing about this thing is that you're able to put your link on your profile now, like on your bio on YouTube, and it's clickable, So it's almost like TikTok now. You'll be able to post a video. You can have a call to action in the comments if you want, not to the link, right? Just, hey, go check my link in my profile, right? Something like that. Not clickable, but you'll be able to click it on the profile. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, are they pushing more maybe subscribers? What would be the call to action? Hey, subscribe to my channel or check the link in my bio, because I know you also have to work with SEO, especially when you make that short form content. You also have to play with that. So it's like, it's interesting, like what kind of captions am I going to see in the future?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I'm doing here in just a second. And I don't know, it's pretty early, so I don't know how well it's going to work. I'll tell you my new strategy. But before we do, back to the link in the profile on YouTube. It is now much more apparent where you can find that link. For example, it
Yeah.
used to be YouTube, you could add a link to your homepage or your channel page, but it was always like a half transparent box off in the corner, and it was just really hard to find, and there was really no
Like on the
place.
banner, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in the I think it was in the bottom right hand corner of the banner, at least on desktop it was, and you couldn't really point people to it. Some people put banners with arrows, but then if you viewed it on mobile, it was out of whack and it wasn't pointing in the right direction. So it was just kind of a mess. But yeah, now I mean the link in profile on YouTube is readily available as soon as you click over, especially on mobile. When you click over, it's right there. It's highlighted. You get your 100 characters or whatever to add a little description, and it's boom right there. So definitely more congruent with all the other short form platforms now, and I think it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, 100%. And this, I just learned about this like a week ago. Like I was playing with my settings on my YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, add a link. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna add the link. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, it's just gonna go in the banner, how it just usually goes. But the reason why I found out that feature was because I went on somebody else's YouTube, and I was like, wait a second, why is there a link right there? And I don't have one. So they started investigating, and I went I went on the settings, and I was like, oh, add a link. And then I added it, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm ready to go. And now I'm ready to just be consistent and keep posting on YouTube. So yeah, I think it's gonna work. Just how TikTok worked. I think it's still gonna work. You're gonna get people to actually click on it, and people will convert. It's proven to convert. Just linking bios work.
Yeah, I know it's been going on since at least 2015 Instagram, maybe a little bit earlier, where it's, hey, that's where link in bio came from, and it just works,
Yeah.
and people are familiar with it too. That's what's important is the more confusing you make your call to actions, the less success you're going to have. People know what link in bio means. They know where to find it. They know that it's going to take them somewhere where they can opt in to get something, whether it's a webinar or a free course or a lead magnet or whatever. So people understand the game, and that's important. So another thing that I noticed YouTube was doing, and I haven't been able to figure this out yet because I just started really diving into it this morning in preparation for tomorrow's dead link, so to speak, is that apparently they're going to allow you to link to long form content, right? Traditional YouTube videos from your shorts. And I don't know how this is going to work exactly yet, so forgive me, listener, but the idea here is you're going to paste a link to a long form YouTube video or traditional YouTube video in maybe the description of your short. And then they are going to somehow kind of highlight that video, whether it's a semi-transparent overlay over the short. But that could be a great opportunity, especially if that link to the long form video does end up showing right up on the screen while the short form content's going. So like I said, I don't know anything about it, but I guess that would be a good transition into my new strategy with YouTube Shorts. So back in my early days of YouTube, I just used to create as much content as possible, as much energy as I had. Like, all right, if I got the energy to make 5 videos, let's create 5 videos this week. Now, recently, I've been taking some advice from Mr. Beast, who said it's easier to make a video that gets 10 million views than to make 10 videos that get 1 million views. Meaning the better the content, the better the quality, the better your chances of getting mega reaches. So I really, as I got back into YouTube this year, really pared down the amount of content I'm creating. I'm trying to create 1 to 2 videos a month, sometimes 3 or 4 maximum. So 1 video a week. But I'm trying to make them really good.
Long form, right?
Long form, yep. Educational, search-friendly content. Maybe if a trend comes up, like master resale rights is kind of trending right now. So I've been creating a lot of master resale rights videos in order to try to get in front of that search, because the search is outpacing the supply right now. There's more people searching for information about master resale rights than there are creators creating content on it. So it's a good opportunity. So what I'll do here, Andrei, and this is kind of the nuts and bolts of the strategy, is, excuse me, what I'll do is I'll create that long form video. And we'll just use master resale rights for an example. I'll create a video that is, what is master resale rights and is it a good business for beginners or something like that. I'll try to keep the title shorter, obviously, but that's kind of the idea. And then I'll create a 10 to 15 minute video that explains everything about the business model. Okay, that's my long form content. Now, once that's posted, for the next week, what I'll do is I'll make short form or shorts that kind of tease the idea. And I make them pretty short. I don't give a lot of information away. I say something like, hey, how would you like to have a business where you can sell done for you digital products at 100% profit? If that's interesting to you, I actually created a video that explains everything about this model, and I went and linked it in the comments, right? With the idea that the YouTube videos are still going to be clickable somewhere. The links to actual YouTube videos are going to be clickable, because that's what YouTube really wants. They want people to stay on the platform. And then the next day I'll create another short that teases it. Hey, are you looking for a business and you want to sell stuff, but you don't want to deal with physical products? You can actually sell digital products online. And I even know of a way that will get people to create them for you. If you want to learn more about this business model, click the link in the comments to a full video. So I'm going to use the shorts to link people back to my weekly long form. So that's kind of the idea going forward there.
Have you played around with the remix option of a video?
I have not yet. Have you?
I have not done it, but I do follow a channel which is called Think Media, which they specialize on YouTube, and they do everything about YouTube, and they have strategies. So what a person, they're talking on a podcast, what a person said was, if you're focusing on long form content, what you can do is create the long form content, edit it as however you want to edit it, and post it. And then you can remix that long form and then grab clips out of that long form to post it as shorts. So in reality is you're just creating one full long form content, and then you're remixing a bunch of videos out of that long form content and posting them as reels. That's just a strategy that I really recently learned from this channel that I have not tried because I haven't posted long form content. But since you have been posting long form content, I think it's worth to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to dive into that probably later today, especially with the newest videos I create. And that's exactly what YouTube is telling you they want, right? And YouTube's not going anywhere, right? YouTube is a beast, and it can be a little bit more time consuming when you're comparing it to something like TikTok or Instagram Reels, but it's a beast. Google's going to win. They always win. You know what I mean? So it's not going anywhere. They'll figure it out. That's why I've really made a commitment over the past couple of months to really get back into YouTube. You know, I got kind of lured away by the sexiness of all the short form TikToks and Reels and stuff like that. But I'm making a concerted effort to go back to YouTube now. And like I said, you know, you got to see what they want. They want short form content to bring people back into the channel so they sit there and digest the long form content. And that's the same reason we started this podcast, or one of the reasons we started this podcast, Andrei, is I don't know if we were talking to Travis at Funnel Hacking Live, or who it was, but someone mentioned that podcasts are even more popular now, speaking of late 2022, or more valuable now because it was the only form of long form content left, right? Everybody was hot on TikTok and Reels and stuff like that. So people still crave the, excuse me, I'm over here dying. Hopefully not really, but people crave the long form content. So if you can give it to them in a platform that people know what they're going to get, like a podcast or like YouTube, then you're going to find an audience of people who really want to dive in and dig deep. And the fact of the matter is the longer content, it doesn't get as much reach, but it converts 1,000 times better.
Yeah. And it's funny because I remember the conversation too at the restaurant with, and it was Travis that we were talking, but it was just crazy because it started clicking, like, because we talked about it previously, like maybe 2 nights before that or one night before that. But then it's at that dinner table, like I saw your face and I was like, okay, this thing is clicking, like it's making more sense and more sense to start it. And just how he said it, Travis said it, the last long form content platform out there is just podcasting, right? When I was doing my long form content on YouTube, I was being consistent, posting every single week. And then what happened next? They came out with their YouTube shorts, and I completely stopped creating long form content. So I kind of went away from my strategy, you get me, and I started doing the short form content. But he's 100% right. I mean, podcasting is literally the last platform where you can create a long form type of content, and you can reach people, and at the end of the day, it could convert. Me and you, we haven't created our own thing, but we could create it in like a month and then sell it on this podcast, and I'm sure we'll be profitable. You get me? We'll sponsor our own podcast, but that was never the goal for us. Our goal was just to give,
Right.
have amazing guests, and eventually, if it happens, that'd be great to monetize it. As I think the route that we're going is more like YouTube, right? That we want to monetize it through YouTube first. That's like the main goal. But little by little, more doors are gonna open. So it's great that we started this. To be honest, now we're almost gonna hit a year too.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. We're gonna be coming up on the year of the idea, or the commitment to it, is right around the corner. It'll be at Funnel Hacking Live this year, 2023, in Orlando. That's going to be the year of the commitment to the idea and the formulation of the idea. And then shortly after that, it'll be the actual year anniversary of posting every single week, which is really cool. And that's another thing that I'm proud of us for doing, is once we decided we were going to do it, I mean, we did it. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We didn't know what platform we were going to host it on. We didn't know if we needed a platform to host it on. We didn't know anything. We didn't know anything. We didn't even have a name, but we figured it all out in about 3 weeks or so. Because I think we actually, I'd have to check, so don't quote me on this, but I think we actually ended up launching our first episode in November. So within the first month of the idea, we were live.
Yeah. It took us a month to set it up, learn, because like how you said it, we didn't know what software to use. We didn't know what platform to use. We didn't know how a podcast was going to get transferred to Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Like we had no idea how everything worked, and then we were creating videos and we're like, oh, wait, how are we going to post a video if it's only like less than 1,000 megabytes or whatever, and we're like, okay, it just needs to be the audio, it's just like a learning experience that we went through by doing, right? Because we had a great idea, we didn't know how to execute it, but then we basically just did it. Like little by little we found like different things, and everything just started clicking. At the end, we found the name, we found the hosting platform, and then from there we went all in basically, and it's working. It worked. So
yeah,
I was ready for everything to turn on fire, start blowing up. But no, everything actually, we didn't get that many headaches, to be honest. That's kind of a great thing, actually.
Well, I think it was lucky that we had 2 people working on it. We each had to, when I didn't, when I didn't know what the hell was going on, you did. And if you didn't know what the heck was going on, I kind of figured it out. So we got there without too many headaches. It is actually, I don't want to say easier than I thought it would be because it was about what I thought it would be. But once we got it up and running, the cool thing about it is there have been very few headaches, if any, after we got it up and running. Once you get everything set up, you get your hosting platform, you get your logos, you get your artwork, you get your scheduling, which is another part of creating a podcast. You know, you got to have some sort of scheduling for your guests. Once you have your socials created, it's really pretty seamless after that.
Yeah.
And especially if you can hire an editor, that's pretty good too. That really takes a lot of time
Well,
off your plate.
exactly. Well, for people that don't know this, the way we were actually doing it from the beginning was, we will record a video, an episode, and then Brian will be in charge of putting it all together. And then I was in charge of making the short form content and posting it in all the social media platforms. And it's funny how everything happened because we didn't have a meeting. Hey, you do this, I do this. You know, it kind of just fell into our laps and we just rolled with it. And we did that for what? The first 8 months? No
Yeah,
more. Maybe like
at least
nine, ten
7.
months.
Even it could have been. We did it for a long time, where we were
Yeah.
just we'd get film an episode. All right, I'll edit it, and as soon as it's done, Andre, I'll send it over to you, and you can post the clips, and we'll upload it on Tuesday and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, 10 months, and I think that's important for people to understand or think about, because I see, especially if I'm looking at Facebook posts, everyone uh, sees it as a badge of honor to hire a team, or like, oh, my team, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's great. Obviously hiring people does make your job easier. It allows you to focus more of your energy and time on the revenue generating activities. A lot of times you can find people who are better at doing things than you are, so it's great. Obviously hiring a team should be your goal, I think. But the bottom line is I think you should learn it first. Like, do it for a little while. And we're not in a situation where we couldn't afford to hire an editor from day one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're multi-billionaires or anything like that, but we could have hired an editor from day one. But we did it. And you learn the nuances of it and what things can go wrong, and how, like, sometimes maybe the sound is a little messed up. And then once you know it, then you can confidently hire someone to take over the responsibilities, and the job, right? It's like the janitor that becomes the CEO of the company. He works his way
Yeah.
all the way up to the top, and he becomes the best CEO because he understands how everything works, right? And I think that's important. So don't see it as a negative, or don't feel like your business is inferior if you have to do everything yourself, because I think you should do everything yourself in the beginning so you can learn it. Then if you decide, hey
Yeah.
boy, this would really be great if I could hire someone to do this, if I could outsource that, then by all means do it, and everything will probably be okay.
Yeah, like you have to start in the trenches, you have to start right there and work your way up as you said it before. Um, but yeah, I mean, there were times where it was kind of stressful, because we needed to like get it done. I remember maybe like 2, 3 months ago when we started posting the clips on YouTube, we were like on a meeting for maybe like 2 hours just posting those clips on YouTube and making the captions and doing this, which was great. We had the time to do it thanks to our online business. And but yeah, it was getting to the point where it was like, oh, it's getting a little bit too much. What else can we do, to make it seem like easier? Because it was getting a little difficult. Like we're spending a lot of hours,
We were,
doing
we were,
everything.
I was getting to the point where it was like, here's this podcast. All we want to do is add value, and we'll worry about monetization later. So it technically loses money, which is not really the case, because there's the connections that we build with our audience. There's the guests that we meet and the connections we make through networking. So it if you take it and extrapolate it out, it's not losing money. But if you look at just the numbers, I mean, we're spending more on this thing than is coming in, because nothing's coming
Yeah.
in directly. But yeah, I was getting to a point, to your point, Andre, is like, we were spending so much time, like my revenue generating activities in the other businesses or whatever started to dwindle. It's like, I got to make a decision. Either I'm going to have to start working 70 hours a week, or we gotta cut the podcast down. And luckily
Yeah.
we decided to cut the podcast workload down. But it was after we did it. And that's the whole point, is just go out there and do it. Find the time, make the time. you'll feel, now we have this story about doing it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the badge of honor more than just hiring a team for day one or from day
Yeah,
one.
and that's the thing though. We did not hire a team from day one. So now in the future, because we might create a thing for podcasting, right? For people to learn how to podcast. We haven't really talked about it much, but that could be an option in the future. But now the cool thing is that we did not hire a team from the beginning. We learned to do everything on our own. And it's like a different skill that we learn as well. Like I never thought I was gonna be a podcast host, but that's just something that I can add to my description now. Affiliate marketer, podcast host. A bunch of different things. Like I can add to my thing, like 2 Comma Club winner. It's a cool little thing that you can add to your repertoire, I guess you can say.
Yeah, and
Your-
it's about building your authority, right? Because when you build your
yeah.
authority, then sales happens a lot easier. And I tell you, at least from my experience, it's a heck of a lot easier to start a podcast than it is to win a 2 Comma Club award when you've never done either of them before, right?
Mhm.
So they carry the same amount of authority, really. If you're a podcaster, if you have a podcast, that's pretty much the same amount of authority as generating $1 million with a funnel. So I highly recommend, if you're in a position where you have a business that is somewhat stable and you're going to be in the niche or the market for a long time, it kind of makes sense to start a podcast for a lot of reasons. Just have reasonable expectations, and if you can find someone to do it with, I think that is a huge benefit, because we already talked about how we had two minds working on it. The other side of it
Mhm.
is you have me and I have you to keep each other accountable, right? I might say,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to work today, and if that was just my other businesses, I might not work that day. That's fine. Luckily, I've gotten to the point where I can do that. But if I say, boy, I don't want to work today, but I have a podcast episode scheduled with you or with you and a guest, I'm going to be there. And that's how we've been
Yeah.
able to post an episode every single week consistently without fail.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, and it's great. It's great. It's a good experience. I personally am learning so much. Like I don't consider myself an expert, but that's just my own insecurity, I guess you can say. I'm sure people see me as somebody that has the credibility, but I still don't see it. Like I still want to learn more and see what other things I can learn from other people.
Well, I don't think that's
Yeah.
ever going to go away. I mean, that's something that
Yeah.
everybody struggles with, I think. And I might open an email for someone telling me I'm the smartest marketer in the world, and then I might, turn around and look at my notes and be like, boy, I don't know shit. You know what I mean? It's just kind of the way it is. But I think it's a good mentality to have. It's that learner's mentality. I
Mhm.
don't think I know it all. I think there's always more to learn, but that doesn't mean I don't have a ton of value to share. And same with you. There's always a ton of value to share. But speaking of, today's episode, I think there was a ton of value in there. Specifically with
Yeah.
the analytics of Instagram and the new opportunity with YouTube. It's probably time for me to triple down on those platforms, because those seem to be the ones that have a lot of potential.
Yeah. It's funny how you say that about like kind of like giving value, because I remember the one of the episodes that I did by myself. Everything that I was putting on that episode, my one of my good friends, he saw that episode, and he's like, you literally sold your high ticket on that episode. Like you literally gave everything away for free in that episode right there, literally. And how many people don't take action? How many people I was talking with him, and how many people don't literally utilize everything that is on that episode and then create their business or start making more sales. So it's just like the amount of value that we give. And we do have some loyal people listening, because we always get almost the same views on the episodes. So we know people are coming back and rewatching and rewatching. It would be great if everybody could leave a review, like a 5-star review or like a little comment on Apple, which will help us greatly. But yeah, we know that you guys are listening, and hopefully you guys are taking all this information and utilizing it and applying it. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those of you who heard about Andrei's solo episode where he did give a master class on content, that was episode number 37, and it's titled "How It Felt to Get Your First Commission with Andrei Yermejev. And once again, that's episode 37. Go back and listen to that. And if I remember correctly, you really dove into a lot of Instagram strategy in that one. Is that correct, Andrei?
Yeah, a bunch of just strategies. Basically how I run my whole business, from TikTok to Instagram to other platforms, how to utilize the features that they have that I utilize. And yeah, nothing but golden nuggets.
Absolutely. Well, what do you think? This was episode what, 45 or so? Should we bring it
45,
to a
yeah.
close here? I think we covered what we set out to cover. Had some good
Yep.
conversations. We do have Funnel Hacking Live coming up here in the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to remind you on air. We should do an episode not live, but from Orlando. So bring your gear
Yeah.
and
And next week we have a special guest that hopefully he shows up.
yeah. No,
So
this is
it'll be
a
exciting if he does show up.
yeah. I know he's busy, but yeah, this is an
Mhm.
exciting marketer who we met last year at Funnel Hacking Live in person. He has over 1 million followers on TikTok. He's got the 2 Comma Club and all that stuff, and he should be a really interesting fellow to talk to if it works out. Regardless, we'll have another fantastic episode coming next week as well. We guarantee that. Knock on wood, as long as an airplane doesn't fall on us on the way home or something like that. But we appreciate your time and spending it with us, listener. And I think we'll see you all on the next episode of the Evolved Marketing Podcast.
Bye, everybody.